is the habit of getting regular exercise. And you don't have to wait until first thing in the morning or in the evening. I want you to exercise on the run. Okay? So we want you to go up on your toes like this. Okay? And go down. Up on your toes like this and go down. All right? One more time. Up on your toes. What you're building is the gastrocnemic muscle. You realize that we have 3 hearts? Right? 1, 2, 3. Whenever you walk, the gastrocnemic muscle hits the back of your thigh like this, pumps the blood up, and your heart gets a chance to rest. So let's use that gastrocnemic muscle now. I want you to just walk like this, okay? Now lift those knees, guys. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. There we go. Just lift them and move. There we go. All right. Excellent. Now you can tell who has rhythm and who doesn't have rhythm. Come on. Okay, very good. All right. You can give me a seat. All right. Anybody with a bottle of water? With the water, anybody can share? Bottle of water. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Pastor. Okay. All right. Now, part of changing, you have to form a new relationship with someone to make this change. Actually, what's happening now, you're forming a new relationship with me. I am for you an agent of change. You come in contact with somebody who brought new information, a mentor or a teacher or somebody. When I went to University of New York, there's a professor that I really liked. And the way he practiced medicine was so attractive. The way he spoke in Morning Report, the compassion that he had. And I started altering the way I think about medicine based on this fellow. And little by little, before you know it, I was like him. Okay? Now we hope that Jesus will be your best person. But you need someone to become an agent of change. And eventually, you will become an agent of change for somebody. Okay, we'll show you that later on. So you need a new way of thinking, a different perspective. Remember Einstein's rule? And you need to repeat these things over and over again if you're going to write. So Alan Deutschman in his book wrote this: relate, repeat, and refrain. So you need to relate to somebody to get this change. So you form a new emotional relationship with a person or community that inspires and sustains hope. Actually, you are actually living this right now. Here's a community that is trying to change the way you eat, the way you live. Okay? This is exactly what you're doing right now. You're relating. You follow? The next move is you can't go home and just go back to eating tomorrow morning Coca-Cola and donuts. You can't go back and do that. You need to repeat what you learned. That breakfast that you had this morning is strategic. You know how much work went into that breakfast? You think we just do it for fun? We wanted you to taste what it's like to eat this breakfast every day. This is how I eat every day. The breakfast that you have, that's how I eat every single day. Okay? 50% of your breakfast, of your calories should be breakfast. So you repeat it, then you have a new relation, reframe. A new relation helps you to learn new ways of thinking about your situation and your life. What I did this morning, last night, I showed you the graph of what happens when you drink these sugar drinks. Okay? And I showed you the science behind it. You will not leave here and think of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Sprite the same way anymore. Or Thank you so much, man. Thank you. You follow? So what I did, I reframed the way you think about these things. So that's the sequence that you need to go through. Now the first step in making this change, you need to make a commitment. And I can't use this slide for my patients, but I can use this slide for you. My question to you, does Jesus want you to be healthy? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Oops, sorry. So, friends, one of the things that you need to do is to make a commitment. When I walked out of Footprints, and just the thought that Jesus left heaven and come down to Ocho Rios to talk to Errol Bryce. He didn't send Gabriel. He didn't send an angel. He didn't send somebody else. He came to Errol Bryce and said, Errol, I love you. That night I made a commitment. I have come that you may have life and that you will have it to the full. Okay? But you have to make what I call a super D, a huge commitment to use my body as his temple. I will believe in Jesus' power to change me. Whatever it takes, you just got to make the decision. I know you've been to Jenny Craig. I know you've been to Weight Watchers a million times. How about the man Jesus Christ? Why not try him? I know you're hooked on cheese. What Filipinos are hooked on that they shouldn't eat? White rice. All the time. Your navel was cut with a scissors made of white rice. Right? The first time I said to my wife, honey, I think we can take brown rice and make this rice and peas. My wife never answered me. The next time I said, honey, why can't we use brown rice into the rice and peas? Why we have to, you know these marital toss that you have from time to time? And we went to this Thanksgiving dinner and put my foot in my mouth. The moment it came out, I knew I was in trouble. I went to this Thanksgiving dinner, and the lady had this spread. She was from Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, there's some Jamaican culture there. And the lady had this rice and peas that tasted so good. And I said to the lady, what kind of rice is this? White rice or brown rice? And the lady said, it is brown rice. And I turned to my wife before everybody, and I said, you see? I had to sleep under the tree for 2 weeks. Okay? So in this commitment, guys, you got to make a firm decision. When you make a decision, the brain starts setting up new signals that something is going to happen. So you got to make a decision as to the weight that you want to be. Okay, my wife went to England, and I said to her, honey, I want you to, I forgot the name, the size suit that I told her I wanted to buy. She brought this suit, and I put it in the first rack. When I tried to put on the suit was so tight, I couldn't get the pants up. I was going like this. And I put it on, and I said, one day I'm going to fit into this suit. And one morning, I walked out, and Hortensia said, who bought you those suits? Because she buys all my clothes. She said, who bought you that suit? So I said, She had forgotten it. About 2 years before she had bought that suit. I finally was able to put on the suit. I went from 217 pounds down to 174. Okay? So you set the date. Go out and buy the most beautiful size 4 red dress that you can find. Okay? And and you put it up that you have to pass it every morning to take out another dress. Because you're going to fit into it one day. Okay? And you decide on a day. So you can, let's say, I didn't know, this is just a little bit. Most of you might be 5'2" or 1'3". But let's say you're 5'5", okay? And you're Caucasian, then you should be weighing somewhere around 131. If you are from the Philippines, that's where you need to be. If you're from the Caribbean, you're okay? The Caucasian right in the middle. Okay? So you kind of pick the, according to your body size. Okay, some are more corpulent than others. So, you know, it depends on you. You pick where you should be. There's a wide range. All right. Now, I went through this with you, but there is a physiology of change. The brain has to go through certain change. And we went through this. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Whatever you think about, your brain will become a part of it as you make these changes. Okay? So in the normal thing, we went through this a little bit. I wanted to show you. In the decision-making process, it happens for everybody. The stimulus comes in, and it goes to the precortex. When I decided to drink this bottle of water, I looked at it, okay? Stimulus came in, and my precortex says, take it out. Open the bottle and drink. Okay? Now, if I was a smoker, if I were a smoker, and I had cigarettes here, I would reach for this caja, take it out, open it, light it, and don't even think about it. That's not the precortex. That's another part of the brain that's taken over. So, how do I have it? Okay. I think it's, oh, here it is. So, when you do things automatically, you come home, okay, stressed, tired. And what you do, you reach for the cabinet, take out the German chocolate cake, cut yourself a big slice, go and sit before the TV. That's not your precortex thinking. That's the amygdala. And when you bite that piece of German chocolate cake, you feel the stress melting. You guys talk like you don't know what I'm talking about. Come on. German chocolate cake and some butter pecan ice cream. That thing melts any stress. Right? Come on, guys. Let's be honest. All right. So this is what happens. So this because of years of this habit. So when you were a year old, your mother put before you this beautiful piece of cake, which is basically white flour, white sugar, and egg, and butter. 4 deadly poison. And they put a candle with it, and they say, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, and you, and the next year, they do the same thing. And the next year, they do the same thing. What happens when you're now an adult and you decide to get married? You not only put one candle, you put about one big cake and another layer of cake and another, and it's all white flour, white sugar, eggs, and that's it. Why? Because you associate the happiness with this habit. So you have to rewire that brain all over again to make it happen. So this is what they call it, the hijacking of the amygdala. So what we need, friends, is going back here. This is where the battle is with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is fighting for that frontal lobe. And whether you make it to heaven or not will depend on who controls the frontal lobe. Pastor, am I too far off? Pastor? No, my theology. Am I too far off? I'm not too far off. Okay. The more... Sorry, I can't hear you. Okay, so we need to break. Okay, all right. So we're in the halfway point. And it gets better, I promise you, but you look like nice people that need a break. Okay? So, what am I saying? Oh, let me come back to this point.